For those of you wanting a relatively affordable electric mid-sized SUV with a good range, plenty of power, and some incredibly good specifications, then this is the car that more than likely within the next 12 months you will be able to buy in your country. Hello my friends and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans and I'm coming to you from Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thanks for subscribing. It's great to have you. Welcome, new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. Wonderful to see you all. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Really appreciate what you do. I'll put a link in the description below to our Patreon page. If you want to check us out and support us, that would be wonderful. MG is an electric car brand. Well, it's a car brand, which is going to be electric only very soon, owned by the state-owned vehicle company SAIC. So yes, when you buy an MG electric car, essentially you're buying a vehicle from the Chinese government. Facts are facts. Just going to point that out right there. And for those of you who think otherwise, no. I've received $0 from the Chinese government. In fact, they actually shut down my website when I was there about a decade ago, although I was there more recently than that. I lived in Taiwan and China for about a year. But about 10 years ago, I rode my bike around the world. And as part of that riding trip, I spent a fair bit of time in China. I was writing a blog about my experiences, and the government didn't like what I was writing on there, what I was writing on the website. You're probably thinking, don't be crazy, as if they're going to be paying any attention to your irrelevant website. Well, that's what you'd think. That's what I thought. And then I discovered that the Chinese government actually has apparently a workforce of 300,000 people called the Golden Army, which search the internet for anything negative about China and then try to block that information. So I don't really support them in that way, I have to say. But I just think, hey, if you've only got so much money and, you want a product and you don't have a lot of choice, then you don't have much choice really. I mean, what's the last appliance you bought, right? What's the last phone you bought? Pretty much everything we buy now is made in China, and that's just the way it is. So anyway, let's just focus on the positive, which is that the new MG EH32 or the CyberE has rolled off SAIC's production line and it's coming to Europe to compete with the Volkswagen ID.3. It's a little bit bigger than the ID.3. SAIC is the largest automaker in China. I think they'll be surpassed by BYD pretty soon, but anyway. And they've officially mass-produced the first MG CyberE at its Ningbo plant. So this will be a mass-produced global electric vehicle. That's their plan for it. They're already selling their electric cars in a number of countries around the world, including Australia and the UK and Europe. The MG CyberE is an electric hatchback. Well, kind of. It's like, BYD Atto 3, very similar car. So the way that this vehicle actually came about was SAIC got together with MG in the UK. They got together and they wanted to design a car that would be a global vehicle. And they knew that, they didn't think that would work if they just did it using Chinese staff in China. So the two teams got together and they designed this car. Personally, I think it looks pretty generic. It's not particularly inspiring. I personally think the Atto 3, the BYD Atto 3 looks heaps better. That's just me. The interior, on the other hand, is a completely different ballgame. The interior on this crucifies the Atto 3 interior. It's way better. Exterior, not as good. That's my take. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Now, MG officially say that the MG EH32 was designed by combining the next generation EV architecture, intelligent driving cockpit, and creature comforts. And a lot of credit is going to the government of Fujian province and Ningbo city, which have shown strong support and helped resume work and production at the SAIC facility. So, as I've said before, people have told me I'm wrong on this, but sorry, I'm not wrong. SAIC, government owned, yeah, they got some help. They got some extra help to keep the factory going. It was in their interest, right? It's the government themselves. So, yeah. MG's product planning slides, say carnewschina.com, were shown at an internal presentation revealed that Cyber will be used in the name of the new EV vehicles. So this should be called the MG Cyber something. And Chinese companies have demonstrated a pattern of admiration towards naming products in series. So the next 4 upcoming electric vehicles coming from MG or SAIC, which are going to be all global electric cars, by the way, will be called the Cyberster sports car, the MG CyberE hatchback, the MG CyberS SUV, and the MG CyberX SUV. According to MG, the CyberE will have level 3 autonomous driving, a smart cockpit, and 5G connectivity. Now, I'm sure it'll have a smart cockpit, and I'm sure it'll have 5G connectivity, and I'm also sure it won't have level 3 autonomous driving. But hey, level 2, that'll be all right. That's cool. Now, apparently it's already being successfully mass produced right now and rolling off SAIC's production line. And we actually do know approximately what specs and features it'll have, because it's going to be similar to the current MG Marvel R, which is being sold in Europe right now. We know what the price of that vehicle is, and we know what the power is. It comes with a 288 horsepower twin motor configuration and a 284 horsepower tri-motor setup. Now, performance is where the Marvel R really is impressive. It actually comes with a 3-motor setup, and it can accelerate from 0 to 62 miles an hour or 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in only 4.9 seconds. Pretty good for a vehicle this size. Now, apparently the weight is about 1.9 tons, which seems pretty light for the size of this car. What's the price? Well, first, I'll tell you the rest of the specifications. The 2-motor version will do 0 to 62 miles an hour in 7.9 seconds. And interestingly, this new electric car, they say it's going to come with a 2-speed gearbox, a little bit like the Porsche Taycan. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, that's interesting. Regardless, this will be the fastest accelerating MG vehicle ever made. So what batteries will it come with? Well, it looks as though it's going to come with a 70 kilowatt hour battery pack, providing 370 to 400 kilometers of range. And it can charge from 30 to 80% capacity in 30 minutes on a DC fast charger. What else does it have? Well, one other cool feature that it's got is the ability to charge using V2L, or vehicle to load. This means you could potentially plug in a barbecue or power tools or a TV or another electric car and charge that up. Either way, it's a pretty cool feature. What's the price? Well, the current price of this MG Marvel R variant, which is similar to this, in Europe right now is 39,990 to 47,990 euros. So you can guess it'll probably be around about that price in US dollars. However, right now in Australia, we have a similar vehicle, which is around about 32,000 US dollars. For you Aussies, you know the car I'm talking about, and it's a big seller here in Australia. Now, SAIC say that they're currently capable of producing 300,000 of these per year. That's a lot for one model. And they claim that each car will roll off the production line every single minute, 24 hours a day. Now, right now, the current factory building this vehicle already exports electric cars to New Zealand, Europe, Australia, the Middle East, South America, and a number of other foreign markets. And it's SAIC's goal to sell 120,000 electric vehicles in Europe this year alone. Now, whether or not this is a direct competitor to the Volkswagen ID3, I don't know. I mean, I think it's actually going to be a similar size, probably halfway in between. Probably you've got the ID3, then you'd have this, then the ID4. So that gives you an idea on the actual size. I think it'll be similar in size to the BYD Atto 3, maybe slightly bigger. Now, a couple of other things it's likely to have. The Marvel R right now comes standard with a 19.4-inch center touchscreen. That's one of the biggest touchscreens you can buy in any car, period. Seems incredibly luxurious for the price, doesn't it? 19.4-inch touchscreen. Now, what I'm most keen to hear is, when this car is launched in your market, will you consider it, considering it's a vehicle that is essentially made by the Chinese government? That's a good question for you to ask yourself. Will you buy it, or will you even consider it? Now, let's say it's 20% cheaper than every one of the competition. Would you then consider it? How much cheaper would it have to be before you do consider it? Or will you just not consider Chinese EVs, period? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm really interested to hear what people think about this. I'm not really sure, but I want to know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.